everybody, how's it going? Thanks for checking out this video. My name is Josh, and today we are going to be talking over some alternate chord voicings for the key of C. First to start off, we're going to talk about the key of C. It is a all-natural chord key signature, and so there's not going to be any sharps or flats in this key. It's just going to be straightforward. So first, let's start by going over the majors and minors in the Nashville number system. The 1 is going to be a natural C. The 2 is going to be a D minor. The 3 is going to be an E minor. The 4 is going to be a F. The 5 is a G. The 6 is going to be an A minor. And the 7 in the key of C is a B, but in most situations in this key signature, we are going to be playing a inversion, a 5 over a 7, which is a G over a B. And that's how it's most often going to be used in the key of C. So we'll talk over the natural way, the way that these chords are most likely going to be played, and then we will go into a few alternate chord voicings. Maybe it's just to add a little bit more color to the chord, or maybe it's a way that you can play it in an easier, more comfortable way. So let's check out the naturals, the usual ways to play it first, and then we'll go a little deeper. So to start with the C, the 1, you're going to play it like this. Pretty standard. And then moving on to the D minor, the 2, the natural way is like that. Okay? To the 3, there's nothing wrong with this chord. We're going to play E minor. Sometimes you will tack on a 7, which is this D on the 2nd string up, so we'll play like that. Your 4 is going to be an F, which is typically a bar chord. We'll talk about some different ways to play this later on, but usually that. Your G, A minor. And then, like I said, with the 7, the B is usually going to be played as an inversion, which I play a G over B like this. And usually that's a passing tone from the A minor, G over B, back to the C, the 1. So that's your typical way to play most of those chords. Now let's dive into giving it a little bit more color and maybe even adding some different options as far as playing each of those chords. We'll start back with the 1, which is the C. Right there. The C is built off of a triad, which is the C, E, G, the 1, 3, 5. And so what sometimes I will do is I will add a 5 on the top string, which is right here, just to add a little bit more color, a little bit more bottom end to that, so you're not hitting the E there. So that's the C that sometimes I would play. Another inversion that sometimes you'll run across is a 1 over a 3, which is a C over an E. And in that situation, it's totally fine to play that E on the top. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so there's your 1, a different inversion that is an option. Your 2 is going to be a D minor. And like we said earlier, this is the typical way to play it. There are 2 different options that I would like to show you. Sometimes it's just a little too strong, maybe a little too harsh would be another way to say it. So we've got 2 different options. The first one, or both of them, are going to start with your 5th fret, your 2nd string, that's your D. And then we're going to go to the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, an open string, and then the 3rd fret again. It sounds like this. Now, with these 2 chords, sometimes you're going to play and you're going to hear this E, that high E on the bottom string. Sometimes it fits, sometimes it doesn't. And so what I will do is I will take the fat of my palm right here and kind of brush it up against that bottom string to kind of use it as a mute. And so instead of hearing that, we're going to hear it more like this. Okay? And then your second option, as far as your D minor goes, is instead of going down the neck, we're going to go up this way, and we're going to go the 5, and then we're going to go 7, open, and then a 6. and then brush your fat against that bottom string again, and it sounds like this. Instead of... Okay. So a few different colorful options as far as that D minor goes. Let's move on to the E minor. Like I said, most of the time it's going to work perfectly just to play that natural E minor, or even add that 7 in there, the E minor 7. Moving on to the F, we've got a few different options for this chord as well. Typically, right, you've got your bar chord. For me, when it comes to bar chords, I don't play them that often because not only is the transition, sometimes it can be a little rocky, but if you're playing them for long periods of time, they can get really uncomfortable. And so come up with a few different options as far as the F goes. You've got, it's kind of the same shape as your C, but your F here. As far as this goes, sometimes I'll add that 2, the G on the bottom string. But like I said with the C, you can add that 5 in. And so for the F, the 5 in the F chord is actually going to be a C as well. So you can take and add the C here in your F. You can do this, just to add a little bit of a bottom end there. And then you can add and subtract a few different things. You can add, if you're able to, you can wrap your thumb around to that first fret on your top string, just to add a little bit of a bass. You can also take away this one here and make it sound like this. Okay? Just a few different options that you can run with. Your 5 in the key of C, again, is going to be your G. Now, when you're in the key of C playing in this chord shape here, it's really easy to just add on the G in this shape too. Instead of playing the 5 in that G, which is usually that D right there, you're going to go back to the 4 and you're going to play a C right there. So it makes moving back and forth, transitioning between those chords really easy, and you don't have to change your shapes with your left hand near as much. Okay? So that's the main thing that I'll do with my 5, that G in the key of C. Moving on to the 6, again, is going to be in A minor, and that's typically what I will play. Sometimes I'll add a few different other chords. You can add that G on the bottom string just to give it a little bit more color. That's going to be the 6 in that chord specifically. And then to move on to the 7, like I said, it's going to be an inversion. That G over B, pretty simple right there. Just a few different options that you have as far as chords go. If you have any questions, or if you want to just dive into your theory and learn more about this, there are a number of different ways that you can play these chords. But like I said, this is just some of the chords that I use, typically playing in the key of C, that will add a little bit more color or a little bit more variety. So I hope this was useful, and that you can use this to grow in your playing. If you have any questions, please comment below, and we will see you guys later. Thanks.